Instead of rushing out my thoughts on NTE, I wanted to try and see as much of the game as I possibly could. I wanted to try and understand the gameplay, the open urban city, and the combat. If you watched my live stream, you know that I had a grin of absolute happiness throughout my experience, but that was mostly due to the theme and the cutscenes within NTE. Unfortunately, due to internet issues, you were unable to see my next 4 hours on the game where I started to see the flaws in Neverness to Everness. Now this game isn't a lost cause, and I'm hoping the developers are willing to make major changes to the game because there are some things that just need some rethinking. But before we get into the cons, let's talk about the pros. The game shows a lot of personality through its first few hours while introducing you to a large group of beautiful characters. They used a mix of cutscenes and actual gameplay to give you a sense of the direction they were going for in this game's narrative, while also using those cutscenes to showcase the personality of each character, and to my surprise, I loved every single moment of it. I found that I couldn't help but smile when cutscenes were playing as I felt a part of the experience. I'm going to play two different sections of NTE's story. The first one will show Mint being incredibly expressive while talking to the MC, and the second will be a creepy showcase of the supernatural aspect of the game.
刚才我碰到了 ETD 的白藏队长、伊芙队和法蒂亚前辈。还是那么耀眼，那么帅气，看起来是要出任务的样子。是哪里有异常情况吗？
过河。
可可，回见。
Despite the language barrier, it's easy to get lost in the cinematics. I can say without a doubt that story enjoyers will enjoy this game with little to no issue. NTE does a great job at introducing you to a cast of very different characters, giving you a sense of who they are through their personalities. The environments in NTE were also very well developed and are absolutely beautiful visually, with the only thing missing are items that help with mobility like skateboards and rollerblades. Having such items would allow the developers to not only get us around the city faster, but it'll also allow them to add a system to let us do tricks on the many rails within the game. I love how they added the ability to manage and customize your own apartment while also managing shops within the city as well. These things bring another aspect to the city that haven't been done in another open world gacha game before. However, here's where I have to start delivering some of the cons within NTE. Before I start this section, everything that I say is in hopes that the developers are listening and willing to make proper changes so that their game can be the success that I believe it can be. Alright, so let's start off with the combat. The introduction to this game is top tier, till you get a taste of the early combat. It didn't feel exciting, you don't feel the weight of your actions because all of the abilities and attacks you're performing feel like paperweights, and the abilities are just repetitive. There are no real combos, just repeats of action 1, 2, and 3. Then you swap to another character to perform action 1, 2, and 3. And truth be told, I see nothing appealing or fun about this battle system. It lacks personality, uniqueness, and it feels worse than its competitors. I'm not trying to say this to discourage the developers. I'm saying this to iterate just how much this battle system needs a total overhaul. There's nothing fun or unique about this battle system. In fact, if you've played any of the competitors, you'll see that there are better options in terms of a battle system. I'm not going to say the names of those games, but you all know exactly what two games I am talking about. I know the battle system is a small fragment of a total picture, right? This game is about the experience within a city and its supernatural entities. But when you have a battle system in a game, you want to make the best battle system that you possibly can. And I don't feel like that was delivered here in NTE. We don't need weaker repeats of things that have already been done. In fact, we need them to not copy other games and try to play with unique ideas. Toy around with swap cancels and actual combos. Chain abilities together. Create bonuses between units. Reward players for their attempts to discover new combos with different characters in their party. There are so many things that you can do with a battle system that is action oriented that I don't feel like has been captured in any gacha game for that matter. Capitalize on the supernatural aspect of the game and use that to make something special for the combat. I know this team has the talent to do so. Now it's a matter of, will you actually capitalize on that talent and create something that players will be impressed by? Now, after the battle system is overhauled, there are a ton of things that you can do to make players want to log in every day and experience this city that you've created with their friends. Add co-op to the game with racing events for both vehicles and the skateboards or rollerblades that I mentioned earlier. Add battle events by using the supernatural theme to create dungeons to explore. Create a capture the anomaly Ghostbuster event, something that they can do with other friends and capture different anomalies all over the map. Make this an experience that people will want to experience together without taking away the option of doing things alone. And I assure you that this game will stand out with all the competition that's out. This game will stand out on its own 2 feet. The final cons that I'd like to talk about are the character models and the driving. Starting with the character models, the facial expressions on the character models sometimes look very stiff. They look like slightly improved versions of Tower Fantasy's current models, which lack proper emotions in the face. There's a sort of stiffness to them that makes them less appealing and less interesting outside of cutscenes. You're using Unreal Engine 5 and you even have ray tracing technology that looks phenomenal within this game. You should be using this opportunity to make every aspect of Neverness to Everness as beautiful and as anime as possible. Moving on to the vehicles within this game, this is going to be a very easy thing to say. They just don't feel as good as I would expect them to, with this being an open city to explore. They feel much better than Tower Fantasy's mounts do, but they still need a bit of work. Anyways, these are just my first impressions after playing the game for about 8 hours or so. While my opinions can change as I play the game more or after I play the game in English, I don't think they will, because a lot of this has to do with the visual aspect of the game and the battle system. So we'll just have to wait and see after I've played the game so much more. I do feel like this game has the potential to be massive, but major changes to the battle system, movement, and visual quality of the character models, as well as the vehicle movement, all need to be upgraded to look and feel visually pleasing as well as smooth gameplay wise. Hada Studio, I really hope you're listening. Anyways, what do you all think of Neverness to Everness after seeing so many content creators play the game over the past couple of days? Let me know in the comments section below. Have a wonderful day, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay chaotic. Peace out, everyone.